Hello, everyone, and welcome to this interview with Creaticity and Index Living Mall. Creaticity has been represented by Dr. Mahesh M, CEO of Creaticity, and Index Living Mall is being represented by Mr. Gerard McGurk, Head of Retail and Commercial Operations of Index Living Mall. To give the context, let me just introduce Creaticity to you, and then we'll take this ahead. Creaticity, in its 17th year of operations and arguably India's first and largest multi-brand home retail major, is carving a niche for itself amidst a crowded space, that of sharing meaningful knowledge and inspiring the joy of creation to its customers during their homemaking journey. Through 100 plus regional, national, and global brands and 52,000 home decor ideas. Index Living Mall is Thailand's #1 retail business in furniture, home goods, and home decor. With over 50 years of business experience, the company has focused on development to remain the top choice for customers by offering high quality products and services that blend design with innovative technologies. Index Living Mall operates its own manufacturing facilities to meet customers' home lifestyle needs seamlessly. With this, I take this pleasure to invite Mr. Dr. Mahesh and Mr. Gerard. Welcome, Mahesh and Gerard.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
First question, let me ask Mahesh and Doctor, what is the genesis of this partnership? Looking at Creaticity in its 17 years of operation and India's first and the finest, largest multi-brand house from the home decor and home space, what was the raison d'etre for getting into this collaboration with Index Living Mall?
Yes, thanks for that question. So Index Living Mall has always been, I think, going back in time, last 2 decades or so back, when I had first seen an Index store in Thailand, right? And people from our organization and the senior leadership team also had visited Thailand's Index, right? And Index was a household name in Thailand and among the top players there. And now, of course, the top player in terms of home interiors, home decor and furniture there. So what we felt was that a company, a brand like Index Living Mall, a concept like Index Living Mall, coming to a country like India is timed perfectly now, right? The kind of product offerings they have, the kind of retail operations that they have, the kind of, I would say, deep consumer understanding that they have resonates very well with us here in Pune, India. And as Creativity, who's been always at the forefront of wanting to bring in the best of brands from all over India and offer it to the Indian customers, beginning with Pune, we felt it was right to bring such a partner to India. We also had quite a bit of synergy in terms of they're also we of course found cultural synergies. We also found economic synergies, of course, and we also found synergies from how do I call it, the way that they operate and the way that we operate to handle the customer. Ultimately, the end customer experience and what Index's approach and vision was and what our approach and vision is were quite aligned. And then, of course, the leadership team and Gerard, who's sitting here, has spearheaded the entire discussion over the last couple of years. And today, where we are, and probably you're the first one whom we are formally informing that Index Living Mall is coming to India in Pune exclusively with and at Creativity. So I hope
excellent. This is a fantastic news, Mahesh, and I think this is just the beginning. With this, let me ask Gerard 2 questions. One was India, and second was Creativity. So, Gerard, you have been, at the forefront, and the way Mahesh also explained, we all know about the Index Living Mall from Thailand. Why today, why now that you have decided to enter India? What was the major objective, or what was your raison d'etre, and why and how did you decide to partner with Creativity?
Okay, I think as Doctor mentioned, I think we've had quite a long involvement with India over the last 20 years. We've been approached by lots of companies exploring opportunity to work with us, not just Creaticity, but other brands. And this goes back 10, 20 years ago when Indian consumers came to Thailand on holiday, saw the brand and saw the relevance of the product for that Indian consumer. So it's been a journey, yeah. Over the last number of years, we've actually changed quite a lot of our core company, where we're now ready to expand into a country such as India in terms of the relevance of the product, in terms of design and values. Part of that is our manufacturing base, which has gone through tremendous changes over the last 6 years. So we've tightened up our manufacturing processes. We've really invested in design. So lots of these designs, lots of this manufacturing technology is now in place, whereby we can actually scale up and actually service a country as big as India with the brand itself. One of my top stores in Thailand is in Pattaya. Pattaya is one of a major tourist destination for the Indian consumers. There's Indians, dance clubs, restaurants on that whole strip. But we've got a huge Indian base there that comes and shops in our Pattaya store. About 50% of the sales come from our Indian consumers there, who either live there or carry product back for their business. So India's been on the plan for a long time. It's just been a case of learn the market, learn the consumer, and put together the infrastructures and the core business to be able to support the Indian consumer and get it right first time. Our relationship with Creaticity started before I joined Index, when they approached the family directly. It's still a family-operated business, although we did IPO about 3 years ago. So there's been a long relationship between Doctor and the family asking to bring the brand to India. I met Doctor 2.5 years ago. I think he came with the team. We looked at retail, we looked at the product, we looked at the concept. He saw the tremendous changes that the brand has undergone in the last 5 years. And together we agreed it was time to come into the market in India with our product. And we're confident with the potential success of the product and the brand itself with the Indian consumer. In terms of Pune, I used to work in India before 12 years ago. I know Pune very well. I had stores in Pune, and I see Pune as a very good test market. Yeah, it's a young, vibrant, modern, up-and-coming business, heavily dominated on IT, very student-y type based, very creative, lots of construction, lots of infrastructure taking place. So Creaticity was the perfect partner for us. And the DNA of Doctor and myself and the two companies very much matched to that in terms of what Pune can provide us in order to, number one, learn, number two, evolve, number three, grow. So this is the start of a longer term process to give a sustainable business to both companies, and it doesn't stop. We continue to evolve, we continue to grow, and we continue to learn. And that's about product design, that's about manufacturing, that's about sourcing product as well. We also source quite a lot of product from India today for our global supply chain. So we've got 34 stores trading across Thailand. We've got 17 stores trading internationally, as well as we produce product under OEM for the Middle East, Japan, Korea, as well as some Latin American companies. So India, from a sourcing perspective, is important to me, and hopefully with the relationship with Creaticity, that will give us access to more suppliers and trying to maneuver around the size of India to find the right product that's right for the consumers where we trade across the world.
That's a very strong point that Mr. Gerard said, Hitesh, in the sense India needs a certain sense of localization always, right? So while large international brands have come into India earlier, and many have continued to operate here with their product, which they say is suited to India largely. What we see here is Index has a very strong philosophy where there's got to be a certain percentage of localization even in the offerings. That's a beautiful thing to have. That's again deep learning, right? So today, if you come in and see the 32,000 square feet store, and we are invited for sure, you will see a certain amount of Indianization thanks to the kind of thought process that Index Living has at a concept level. So, and that they believe can be made stronger, deeper by getting more sources from India, and that can help their global supply chain as well. So it's a two-way street. So there's going to be products coming in from Thailand into India, and there's going to be export from India into
to the global
supply chain.
So my next question, and this is excellent. It's two ways. The way we speak about two-way communication, it's an integrated supply chain. It's not one way. Everything you get products from Thailand also, and you are sourcing from India also, as Gerald said. So what is now? My next question is on the product mix, and this is both for Gerald as well as Dr. Mahesh. How unique is the product mix, keeping in mind? So if Dr. Mahesh can first tell us about the positioning of Index Living Mall, the products, or maybe Gerald, you
How
can
do you
also.
read our minds? Amazing. So we were just talking about it half an hour back, and we're talking about the positioning of Index in India. So of course I'll leave the master answer to come from Jared, but maybe in two lines, and I'm sure that I've spoken about this earlier also in earlier fora. So the Indian consumer, I mean, we want to see that we are able to give something for everyone, right? So there is a certain premium-minded customer. There is a certain customer who's looking at who's probably in a sense budget conscious. Let's say they're all aspirational. I always talk about premium aspiration and progressive balance seeking.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I love the smile of yours. So we want that customer. So we have something for everyone. We are not saying we have everything for everyone, right? And we're not saying we have everything for someone. If we are not a niche player, we have something for everyone. So if a young IT couple comes in and wants to do up their bedroom or a living room, there are products that suit their style, that suit their design, that suit their price, their wallet. If there is somebody who wants to do up a large villa, then we have products which are high on design quotient, which are still obviously affordable from a price perspective or whatever. If somebody is looking at wanting to do up their second homes, we've got products for them. If somebody is looking at a complete design and build service, that's also available. So, and you just want to come in and just pick up a club chair or an armchair, that's also possible. A recliner, it's also possible. And of course, the entire home decor and household array is amazing, right? So it's not a pure furniture store, it's a complete home departmental store. So you're going to be seeing furniture, furnishings, accessories, accents. You'll also see household storage containers, the likes of it, right? And it's a completely scientifically arrived at merchandise mix that's available for the Indian consumer. The rest I'm going to have Jared to answer.
Okay, I think you asked about uniqueness and you asked about relevance. I think the first thing is that wherever we trade, the product has got to be relevant to where we trade. And that's really important in India because every state is different, every consumer is different from north to south, east to west. So the beauty of the index product range is there's around about 12,000 SKUs within the total range. Of that, about 8,000 SKUs is furniture, and the remaining 4,000 to 5,000 is what we call HDI, home decorative items. Of the furniture range, about 70% of it is made in our factories, and it's made to our spec in terms of design as well. So we've got a team of about 50 in-house designers who continually design product relevant to where we trade. Therefore, this product is unique to market. Saying that, the product might look similar to something else, but it will be different from what is available in the market. So in terms of uniqueness of furniture, our product is predominantly made in our own factories, and that covers sofas, bedroom furniture, living room furniture, mattresses. Okay. In terms of scale up to scale down to scale across, okay, the beauty of the brand is within Index Living Mall. Index Living Mall is the name of the store, but Index Living Mall contains about 10 individual brands. So the first brand was actually created, was a low price brand called Crown, which started as a folding chair, which was an OEM production, which was shipped to America all these years ago. That's how the company started. We started off as being manufacturers, and then evolved into retailers. So the DNA is still very much a manufacturing design based. So we can control the price point, we control the product, and we can control the design. Within the brand itself, it's multiple brands. So the number one brand is Index Furniture. That's our premium price point level. Our second brand is Winner, which is our accessible price point level, mass price point level, probably comparable to IKEA in terms of price point. And then under that, we've got a brand called FIB, Furniture in a Box, which is our entry price point. So all these different brands are different positionings, different specs, different designs. So somebody starting off, just a student going into a dormitory or a first family, can access the brand at the FIB price point level. As the family grows and they mature and they're incoming, we can then take them into the Winner price points. And then once they've got their fantastic villa, their 4-bedroom condominium in the centre, as the family grows, they can then evolve into the Index product range. We've also got a luxury brand available called Trend Design, which we're not bringing into Creaticity yet, but we can enter the luxury market if we want to, depending on the time and the relevance of where we trade. So that's our furniture product range. And all of that contains uniqueness within the design, the manufacturing processes, and the materials that we use as well. In terms of the accessory range, again, similar. We've got our entry price points, which retail under Index Home. So you'll see the labels, etc., the branding as Index Home. That's our private label brand, and that accesses really the winner price points of Index. Winner furniture, but sitting within the Index Living Mall store. We've also got brands called Cusio, which is our kitchen brand, which services the upper segments towards the Index product range market. So the range is wide enough, depending on the locations, depending on where we trade, depending on the type of store. We're not just locked into big box stores. We can trade up, trade down, trade across based on the locations that we've got and target that product range and the retail model to these locations. Then we bring in the localization, which other big box models don't do in India, where we can localize the product based on localized tastes, not just Indian tastes, but localized tastes for the Pune customer, localized tastes, let's say, for the Mumbai customer, localized tastes for the Bangalore customer at some stage as we start to expand. So we allow a percentage of the range to be localized because we realize we can't provide everything to everybody. And we need to balance that so we deliver on the promise to the customer to be relevant for that customer where we trade, how they want it, at the right time they want it, and where they want it. So that's the major differential when it comes to the market.
It's a very big differential.
You can't get a more comprehensive answer than this.
Absolutely.
The trade up and trade down happens across all the aspects, across the product aspect, across the store size aspect, also across the price aspect. So all dimensions of a typical retail can be, and that's the kind of flexibility that's available in the model. So depending on the market, depending on the appetite of the market, and depending on the geographical size of the market, the store sizes, the product range within, and the price points will be tailored. Is what is the summary.
Excellent. I think this sums it up. And a carry forward question on this one, like Gerald mentioned that there are 10 individual brands and he named a few of them, right from a value to a little bit more premium. So are you going to give all these brands as offerings in India, or it will be a step by step starting from, let's say, value oriented brands, or you're going to have a mix of all? Because
I think for the first store, it's about learning. This is our first store. We need to listen and learn.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we need to listen and learn. But the beauty is, in 4 weeks, we can get product into the country. Yeah. So the supply chains have been designed. So we've got freshness, continual product coming in. So we can adapt once we start to see the sales through what the customers are telling us. We're only as good as what the customers are telling us. So we need to listen to this consumer a lot once they interact with the product and interact with the retail experience. But in terms of the product range itself, it's variable. Yeah. So in terms of the index product range, which is the higher price point, that's around about 30% of our furniture that we have in Pune today. About 55% is the winner price point, which is the accessible, the mass price point, and about 15% is the entry price point levels. Okay, so you've got a mixture here, and we'll see what works, and we can change the percentages
because
on what works. Yeah, and that's the same for home decor. Like there's lots of value product, as well as middle market, as well as the Cusio, the dining sets, etc., a little bit higher. So they've got a little bit of everything. The only brand they've not got
Is Trend Design.
is Trend Design, which is the luxury premium.
yeah.
But maybe at some stage that becomes relevant.
Since there is also an element of customization involved, we'll bring it in at the right time.
Yeah, and also there's a brand that we launched 3 years ago called Unique, which is full customization, made to order. Okay, Unique will happen here, but not in the first year of trading, because it involves manufacturing capabilities, which I hope at some stage we should be able to bring into India in order to be able to deliver on our customization and personalization strategy. But that's 12 to 18 months away minimum before we can give the customer our customization offer. Yeah. The other thing to say is everything's wrapped up with our design center. So we've got our own design software. So the customers can come in using our standard item products, and we'll be able to showcase that product on our 3D design software. So they can see what the house is going to look like, or the condo or the room is going to look like. So we've invested heavily in the designer training here. And we've got a beautiful design hub. You can come in, you can sit down, have a cup of coffee, talk to the team, talk to the designers on a one-to-one, so they can understand what you're looking for and what you want from this product. And we'll put together the packages, and the customer should hopefully respond to that positively. So again, something differential into the market, and that service is free, in terms of when we provide that service.
So Gerard, one comparative question with IKEA, and how do you how would
you have everybody asks me about IKEA,
so how do you see Index Living Mall vis-a-vis IKEA? And I don't want to put parameters, whether it's price, positioning, perception, a scale or design, but you are the best judge to answer that. How do you look at it?
The market is big enough for everybody within this segment in India. I think just to talk about Thailand, Index Living Mall has a 34% market share. We are number one. IKEA is number two in the market. Yeah. The difference between IKEA and Index is the manufacturing base. Yeah. IKEA outsources manufacturing. We can control manufacturing. So the speed of product, the speed of the supply chain is actually much quicker. IKEA is dominant on flat pack product, MDF board product, and a certain price point level. Where they found difficulty is where they flip the price points. IKEA is IKEA. IKEA does what it does very, very well and will be successful. But the IKEA model is very difficult to trade up or trade down. Like we see small format IKEA stores opening, design centers opening in Europe. Some of them work, some of them don't work. But the principle, the market is big enough for everybody in India, as long as we are relevant to where we trade. But the beauty of our brand is we've got that trade up, trade down, trade across model, all interlinking to the manufacturing base, which is wholly owned. So I'm sure IKEA will continue to be successful in India. It still needs to learn a lot about the Indian market, especially geography and type of stores to trade. But the two brands and all the brands should complement one another and bring something else to the table.
Essentially, all of us have the role of increasing the share of the organized pie, right? The organized pie still needs to grow. I always keep saying that every 1% increase runs into thousands of crores. So I think it's for all people, all leaders to come together, whether it's IKEA or Index, to come together and each of them do their bit in order to make the Indian customer more mature and more evolved in terms of buying from organized retail vis-a-vis the unorganized or our friendly neighborhood carpenters. So if that starts and becomes a movement, then I think there's space for everyone to grow and there's space for everyone. Each has their own strengths. And I think the trade up, trade down, trade across, that's the single line differentiator of index living when compared to probably the rest of the players in the market, not only IKEA, but everybody else included. So that's what I would say.
Dr. Mahesh, my penultimate question would be, I've known you, as a visionary. You have, you would like to bring world-class products for India, and the strategic partnership with Index Living Mall. So this partnership is as an exclusive franchisee, and how are you looking at this partnership going ahead?
So it's a progressive model, right? So we are obviously beginning with exclusivity for Pune, and with time, like what Jagat said, next 12 to 18 months is going to be learning. So we need to listen and learn to the customer, and then we together are planning to chalk the larger strategy for India. There is a synergy in terms of minds and of course markets, but we just have to work it around. So we obviously have we've discussed India, we've discussed the opportunity in India, but we're going to take it one step at a time. So rather than trying to say that it's next 2 years I'll open 10 stores, 20 stores, that's not the idea, because we are very as I said, we've spent quite some time before we have reached where we have reached. So we
Yes.
want to take it cautious optimism, right? That's the word that we use. We want to be cautious, at the same time we want to be optimistic, and as we learn, we'll start entering new markets together. Is that right? So,
Yeah, I think the message for me is we've got to get it right when the time is right.
absolutely.
Yeah, and
The
when
time is right. Yes.
and then when the locations are right. So it's not like people say to me, "Oh, 100 stores in India within 2 years." I would love that, but it won't happen because it's too much too soon. Yeah, for us to be able to deal with. When we want to expand, and again, we've talked about other cities in due course, which
Yes.
we're talking about a couple of other cities at the moment.
That was my
But
question.
we take it step by step,
Sure.
nothing to hold us back, put it that way. Yeah.
Sure.
It all comes back to accessibility to location. It comes back to the infrastructure to support it, especially in terms of people. Yeah. Like we need to develop the people.
There's
That's
so
going
much
to
time
manage
and
the
effort.
business.
Our team
Yeah.
was stationed in Thailand. They had our team, the entire store front end team, including at the department manager level, right? Stationed there in stores and learning on the floor. I mean, that's the kind of importance that's being stressed by the index leadership on people getting trained before they hit the shop floor here to address the customer needs. So that's the kind of, so people is a very important component of our entire strategy. So we are investing in good people, and we want to say that it's just not about opening a physical store. It's also about getting 30, 40, 50 people there who are trained and are able to listen to the customer and give what the customer wants at the price point that they need, and so that the market can be we can consume more of the market.
But one thing that I want to add is it's not just about copy paste. Yeah, it's not about copy paste. Like this store is a big store, 3,000 square meters. This is one of our largest stores internationally. Last week, I just opened 3,800 square meters in Thailand, our 33rd store we opened last week. So it's not just a copy paste. We're not just going to roll out 3,000 square meter stores.
That's what my last question was
Right.
to Dr. Mahesh also, that how are you going to go forward in expansion post this initial thing in terms of size, which we have already answered, Gerard, in terms of merchandise, in terms of brand, and in terms of location. Let's assume, you mentioned Bangalore, you mentioned Mumbai, you mentioned Pune, etc. But as you rightly said, all the stores of Index Living Mall, are they going to be of the same size, with the same kind of products or same price strategy, and with the same positioning? Because once the positioning is established, even if you add or delete, it's very difficult to change the positioning in the minds of the consumers. And that's where the whole thing is there. So final word on that from both of you, please.
You want to go first?
I'll go first, then
you go first. Yeah.
let him have the final word.
Okay.
So your point is very valid, that Index Living's positioning is going to be very clear. I mean, like what you said, It's going to be addressing different customer needs in terms of style, design, lifestyle, and price for sure. The size of the stores and the offering could be varied based on the geography. Based on the geography, a Bangalore or a Pune for that matter. I mean, we've been discussing a Pune for that matter. Let's say we have a 3,000 square meter or a 32,000, 33,000 square feet store. It's quite possible that Pune 2 could be in the range of about 1,000 to 2,000 square meter. And there could also be a index home, which could be as maybe even 500 square meter, right? So the store sizes are dependent on the market and the opportunity that's available in that market in that particular catchment, right? So we don't want to be saying that we have one large destination and everybody comes here. We also are not saying that we're going to be a neighborhood store. We will be a destination. The index store, the index brand will be a destination, but the store format sizes will be based on the market. That's where the whole trade up, trade down, and trade across comes in. The brand position remains the same, but we'll play horses for courses. So that's my take. Of course, I'll leave it to Gerard for the final word.
Yeah, like when we look at our internet, when we look at Thailand, our smallest store is around about 3,000 square meters, but our largest store is about 15,000 square meters. Yeah, all of these stores are destination. The bulk of them are standalone buildings because it's a destination purchase. Yeah. But internationally across Asia, we've got 500 square meter brand shops. The franchise agreement that we've done with Creativity allows them to take the brand Index Living Mall, but gives them the right for the sub-brands. So the sub-brands being Index Furniture. So in some stores in Asia, I've got Index Furniture stores. So again, depending on where we trade, depending on what we want to do,
that's the flexibility.
The flexibility is there to be able to cater for multiple cities across multiple states at the right time.
Yes.
The key one for me is sustainability. I won't go into business for a quick fix. This is a longer term partnership,
absolutely,
a mutual respected partnership, and that's what's taken time, building that relationship, and that's crucial. Yeah, we need to understand the Indian consumer much, much more and let the Indian consumer own the business with us supporting the business and listening and evolving to that business need. That's the biggest difference. Can IKEA provide that? Is IKEA too big for that?
The jury is still out.
I'm not sure.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Gerard and Dr. Mahesh. I think it was a wonderful interaction. I wish you all the best. It's exciting times here in India, and all the best for Index Living Mall and Creativity for this wonderful partnership. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.